Hey guys, welcome back. So last time we wrote this JavaScript function for the update password, but we don't actually have the file created that we're sending the ajax call to. So in the update password function, we're making this ajax call to the update password file, but we don't actually have this file created yet. So let's go and create that file. So new file, and save it as in the includes folder, handlers, ajax, and just call it update password.php. Update password.php. Save that. And inside there, just put PHP tags in there. And in fact, what we can do is copy the update email file. So go to the update email.php, copy all the contents, and paste it into update password.php. And we're doing that because there's a lot of stuff in here that we want to keep, such as this include right here, this check to see if username exists part. And as for this part down here, we can actually get rid of all of that. So get rid of all that stuff and keep just this part here. So what we're going to do now is check to see if all the passwords have been passed to this update password page. So we can just say if not is set, and in the parentheses, $_post, square brackets, single quotes, and then old password, like that. And then copy this part in the if statement, and we're going to say or if new password 1, remember it's got 1 afterwards, so if not is set, new password 1, and then do the same again. I'm going to copy all of that and paste it for new password 2. So if old password, new password 1, or new password 2 have not been set, you can just echo not all passwords have been set, and this will be for us to see, because it would mean our parameter values aren't correct. So inside the script.js, it would mean that these values right here are not correct. So copy and paste that below, and then we're going to change it slightly. Instead of checking to see if they're set, we're going to check to see if they're empty. So instead of if set, we can say if old password is an empty string, or, and do the same here. So or new password 1 equals an empty string, or new password 2 equals an empty string. So if any of them equals an empty string, we can just say please fill in all fields, just like that. Please fill in all fields, because obviously if one of them is empty, they haven't put a value in there. Okay, if we get to this point, we know that they've entered all the passwords and they all have values, so we can go ahead and get the values of there. So username can equal $_, $_post, square brackets, and then username. So there's the username. Copy and paste that below. This can be old password can equal old password. Copy and paste that again. This can be new password 1. New password 1 equals new password 1. Oop, 1 in there. Copy and paste that below. And this can be new password 2. And then new password 2. So now we have all our values into the PHP variables. And now what we're going to do is MD5 the old password. And the reason we're doing that is because we're going to use the encrypted version when we check to see if it matches their current password, because remember the passwords are stored in the users table encrypted like this. So we have to encrypt it before we do the check. So old MD5 equals MD5, and then just put the old password in there. So there's our encrypted version of the old password. Now let's just do a query to check if the password matches. So password check equals mysqli underscore query. Inside there, put our connection variable, and then select all from users where username equals, and pass in our username variable, and password equals, and then pass in our old MD5 variable that we just created above, and maybe a semicolon as well. So we're selecting all from users where username is the current user, and then password is the MD5 version of the password. And then we can simply say if mysqli underscore num underscore rows, and in parentheses just put that query above. So password check. So if MySQL num rows password check is not equal to 1, so if we didn't find one result, we can say echo password is incorrect and then exit. So if it doesn't do this part, we'll go to the code below, and if it gets to the code below, it obviously means the password they entered for the old password is their old password, which is fine. And now we can check if the new passwords match. So if new password 1 not equal to new password 2, we can just echo your new passwords do not match. Alright, and then exit again. Okay, so if they're not the same, create some space below. And then we just want to check if it's a valid email, so if it only contains numbers or letters. So we can say if preg_match, and this is the same preg match we used when we did the sign up process, and inside single quotes, this is the regex to match. So just copy this out if you want. Let me type it out first, then copy it. Square brackets, arrow, uppercase A dash Z, lowercase a dash lowercase z, 0-9. Square brackets and then one more dash. So this is checking if the password they've entered does not, that's what that means, that's what the caret symbol means, if it does not match uppercase A to Z, lowercase a to Z, and 0-9. So it contains anything other than letters or numbers. But the second parameter for this is new password 1. We only need to check new password 1 and not new password 2, because we know if we get to this point the passwords are identical. We can just echo your password must only contain letters and or numbers, and exit again. So one more check before we update this now. So if strlen, so we're checking the length of the password, new password 1 and then is greater than 30, or strlen and then in there put new password 1 is less than 5. So if the password is greater than 30 characters or less than 5 characters, we're going to echo your username must be between 5 and 30 characters. So your username must be between 5 and 30 characters, and then just exit, just like that. And if we get to this point, we know it was all fine, and we can just MD5 the new password. So new MD5 equals MD5 new password 1. Nearly there. Now finally, just update the value in the table. So query equals mysqli underscore query. This will be con, and then update users set password equal to new MD5, and put single quotes after that as well. Then where user name equals, and then pass in our username variable. And as always, remember your single quotes around the variables. And then just echo a success message. So update successful, like that. Okay, that was a lot. I know that was not the most fun of things to write, but we've done it now. Save that. Now let's go and test it out. So I'll refresh this update details page, and let's test the first condition, which is if not all passwords have been set. So if I don't set any, we have a parse error right there. Unexpected comma. What line? On line 37. Line 37. And I can see why. It's because I have preg match right there, but this parentheses in the wrong place. So this parentheses here needs to be here. So a new password needs to be here. So it needs 2 at the end. And new password needs to go inside this preg match because it's matching this pattern here with the second parameter. So save that. Refresh the page. and then I'll won't enter any passwords. I'll click save. Please fill in all fields. If I enter something in there, and not in there, you'll see the message doesn't change. But if I enter something in there now, we get passwords incorrect because this password here wasn't right. So I'll get the password correct. Let me see what the next check is. So I'll get the password correct, and then I'll enter 2 new passwords which do not match. So I'll get the password correct. So password, which is my current password, and these passwords obviously do not match. Click save. Your new passwords do not match. Okay, next one down is check that it only contains numbers and letters. So I'll go and make the passwords match. I'll just say password with an exclamation point at the end. Same here. Password with an exclamation point. Click save. Passwords must only contain letters and or numbers. Great. That checks fine. Underneath is checking that it's between 5 and 30 characters. So I'll make them identical. I'll do AA, and then in here AA. Save. Your username must be between 5 and 30 characters, and then I'll just check it does this for over 30 characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's more characters than it needs to. Let me just match this up this way. And you can see they're in line, so let's click save. And the message didn't change, so we know that's fine. Now let's enter a valid password and check that it updates. So I'll change my password from password to password1, and do the same below. Password1, and click save, and update successful. Now to test that works, I'll try and log in with that password. So click log out, and I'll try and log in with my old password, which was password, and we should see an error message. So username and password is incorrect. I'll try my new password now, password1, and it should log us in, which it does. Good job, guys. I know that was a long one. That was a long file to write, but we did it, and it's a good job done.